Welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and I'm going to be talking about quests today. We're going to go through them and see, are they really worth the time invested, what my opinions are, and what you should do about the quests. We're going to go through them right now. All right, so we're going to start with the Bounty Hunter Squad, and it's a 7-level quest. You have to do all 7 to earn the ability. Number 1, you're going to get some superficial rewards, but don't do it for the rewards. If you do it, you will be sad. The really only benefit is going to be the title that you earn through this quest. For Bounty Hunter 1, you're going to have to get Boba Fett to gear 12. You're going to have to fulfill his contract 500 times, which isn't horrible, but it's a lot. That's a lot of gameplay with Boba Fett. And you have to defeat 50 Wampas. That's doable. Bounty Hunter 2 of 7 goes to Greedo. You now have to have Greedo gear 12, Greedo's contract fulfilled 500 times, and throw at least 1,000 thermal detonators. Kind of crazy, but that's just level 2 of 7. Then we go to Armed Bounty Hunter Part 3, and you got to get IG-88 up to gear 12. You have to fulfill his contract 500 times and then win 12 battles with IG-88 present in territory battles. That's not difficult, but the contract fulfilled 500 times is a lot. Bounty Hunters 4 out of 7 is Zam Wessel. That's right. She's beating out some of the others on these tiers. Not sure why. To gear 12, you have to complete the Galactic Bounty event tier 4, and you have to defeat 1,000 Galactic Republic enemies. By the way, anything you've done in the past means nothing. It's only from this point on that they're going to give you credit for it when it comes to actual battles and things like that. Now, Bounty Hunter 5 out of 7, that's right, 5 out of 7, is going to be Dengar to gear 12, defeat 1,000 Ewoks, okay, and win 5 territory wars attacks with Dengar. Pretty crazy. That means you're going to have a really OP Bounty Hunter squad to be able to do that. And 6 out of 7, yes, I can't believe they did this. They included Cad Bane. You have to get Cad Bane. He wasn't even reworked to gear 12. You have to finish off 200 enemies with Cad Bane. Finish off means you have to kill them. Actually kill them with Cad Bane. He has to be the finishing move. And you got to defeat 500 Jedi with Cad Bane present. And then the 7th is get Bosk to gear 12, and we all know you can't do that without him being 7-star, which means you got to get him all the way up to 7 stars. For now, he's not free to play farmable. He will be. Then you have to defeat 100 Wookiees with Bosk present. The only place I'm going to think about finding that is going to be possibly Territory Wars or maybe Galactic War, and hope that you find some Wookiees scattered in there. And then you have to win 500 squad arena battles. Win 50 squad arena battles with Bosk. Pretty crazy. If you do all of that, you'll get the Bounty Hunter quest title. So my thoughts on that is I wouldn't even bother for a simplistic title like that unless you've got all your Bounty Hunters gear 12, 7-star, you went totally whale on Bosk, and you love Cad Bane even though he isn't very good in the game, and you want to spend a bunch of stuff to get him up to gear 12. If you've done all of that and you're just this, Kraken sitting on the sidelines and you want to try and achieve this, then great. But this is far, far, far out of reach for the majority of individuals playing this game now and in the future. And I am almost 4 million galactic power, and I wouldn't even sort of attempt this particular quest. And the thing about quests is you can only have 3 open at any given time, and they take forever. So my suggestion is do 1 or 2 quests at a time, leaving a slot open in case a better quest comes along. Now the next one is Fulcrum. Fulcrum, you've got to have Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum to gear 12, and then you've got to win 100 battles with her. That's not too difficult. And defeat 1,000 Empire allies or enemies. That's not too difficult. Part 2 of 4 is to get Cassian Andor to gear 12. Not that difficult. Finish off 200 enemies with Cassian. That's pretty difficult. You got to really strategize and make sure Cassian's doing the finishing blow. And then win 5 territory war attacks with Cassian Andor. That's going to be doable since it's only 5. Part 3 of 4 is win 5 squad arena battles with only rebels. That is actually doable, difficult, but choose your targets wisely and you should be able to come out on top. Finish 200 enemies with Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, which is not uncommon because she has Whirlwind, which is nutty. And then defeat Hoth Rebel Assault Phase 6 Rogue One mission. That one again is, very doable. And then the last for Fulcrum to earn the Fulcrum title is to get 5 Rebel characters to gear 12. Not undoable. A lot of people already have that. 25 squad arena battles with only Rebels. Instead of 10, it's now 25. Again, tough but doable. And win 10 territory wars. This Fulcrum one looks like the easiest of all. Is if you have a gear 12 Fulcrum, this might be one you might actually want to take advantage of. It's only 4 tiers, not 7, and all of the tiers seem actually quite reasonable. The Rebels in Arena is going to be tough, but doable. And they don't count your previous battles. So if you were using CLS for a long time and now you're using it for Palpatine, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back to CLS and try and do that. Now, the next one is Jedi Knight, and Tier 1 was difficult, but I know a lot of people that use the practice mode to get this Tier 1 over with. You have to win 200 battles with 5 Jedi. That's doable. Have 5 Jedi to 7 stars. Again, that's doable. Have Jedi Consular Starfighter to 7 stars. Many of us who cared about ships already have that. Tier 1 in the books. Tier 2, 10 squad arena battles with Jedi. Okay, so that's a physical impossibility for a very, very long time, so you might as well quit this quest while you're ahead. Now, the only way this is even feasible is if you and your entire leaderboard chat choose to go ahead and have a Jedi day where you all switch your teams to Jedi and you all just have ham on each other and kill each other a lot with your Jedi teams. That is something that I've heard already. A couple of leaderboards are strategizing. The problem with most leaderboards is only about half of the people that climb are in there, and the other half are going to go, wow, and just totally decimate you and throw you out of your slot. So, and the coordination seems a bit much. Plus, that's not the intention of this. This is really that you're amazing and you win and you slaughtered, people 10 times with your Jedi, and that's just not going to happen. If you happen to work with your leaderboard to actually make that happen, you then have to get old Ben to gear 12, win 9C with 5 Jedi. Not impossible. I've actually done that. And earn 30 stars in territory battles. That's doable as well. And then Jedi Knight 4 out of 4 is get 10 Jedi characters to gear 11. That's doable. Earn rank 10 or better 5 times in the Heroic Aat. That's pretty impressive, but if you're able to solo, if you have like the Wampinator team or the Hermit Yoda team that can go pretty much the whole thing, it's not impossible with those teams to score, top 5 slots. I got number 3 yesterday with that team, and so this is sort of attainable for the highest end players. And then win 4 territory wars, not difficult. So Jedi Knight, I would say, isn't impossible, but would definitely take some time. And you would definitely need to have a top 10 positioning in Heroic Aat to even consider this, because again, you don't get this title of Jedi Knight unless you complete all 4. That's right, all 4 of these tiers. Now there is another Jedi tier past that called Jedi Master, and you then have to earn rank 3 or better 3 times in Heroic Aat. I've only probably done that 3 times in my lifetime because I just don't play it very often. So this is probably out even for me. 5 Jedi to gear 12, not impossible. Have Ahsoka Tano's Starfighter to 7 stars, not impossible. Tier 2 for this one is going to be 20 squad arena battles with Qui-Gon Jinn, which probably would be the leader of choice anyway, and get Qui-Gon Jinn to gear 12 and defeat 200 separatist enemies. The 20 squad arena battles with Qui-Gon Jinn is virtually impossible in the current meta. Again, just like the Jedi Knight, you could collude with your leaderboard to try to make that happen. As far as Jedi Master 3, you could defeat 200 Sith with Grandmaster Yoda. That's not impossible. There are some PvE spots with events that you could bring in Grandmaster Yoda and win with that. Win 90 with 5 Jedi. That's a tough one. And earn 100 stars in territory battles. Again, that'll happen over time. And then to get Jedi Master 4 out of 4, you're going to have to get 10 Jedi to gear 12. Doable for some of the higher end players. earn rank 1 in Heroic AAT. That means you have to outmaster everybody. And if you've got anyone soloing, it is RNG right there. And then you have to win 10 territory wars. For the majority of players, Jedi Master is just completely out of reach, probably for the indefinite period of time that you play this game. And for what you get an Omega and some crystals, really all you're doing it for is the title. And the title is cool in a superficial kind of way, but there's got to be a little bit more there because people will forget these titles exist after they give up on these quests because these quests are a little impossible. I really do feel like they need to rework these quests significantly to make them more attainable for the Dolphin, free to play, not just for the Whales and Krakens. Even if you've played this game for the entire time since launch, if you even were a Dolphin, you probably still couldn't complete any of these at this time because of the prerequisites they have. Sith Agent is probably the easiest of all of them to acquire. I'm doing it, and I actually suggest you guys do this as well if you're using Empire as meta or Sith as meta. You have to get Asajj Ventress to gear 12. That's tough, but you know what? She's on one of the best PvE teams in the game, so that's not a bad investment whatsoever. You have to get 5 Sith to 7 stars. Again, not too shabby. And then you have to defeat 200 Jedi with Asajj Ventress present. Now, that's not difficult because on 6A, you can go in and there's a bunch of Jedi, like 15 Jedi, and you can, actually, it's like 4L. I don't remember. It's like 4A, 4L. Anyway, there's a bunch of PvE nodes where you can get like 15 a whack. So you can kill pretty quick and knock out this 200 Jedi pretty easy. 2 of 4 is a little more difficult. You got to win 10 arena battles with Sith only. I know a lot of people using Thrawn. You're going to have to pull him and put somebody else who's a Sith, like Sith Assassin or Trooper in there. It's not undoable, though. You should definitely be able to get that done. Defeat 1,000 Galactic Republic enemies with Count Dooku. Not too bad. You can actually do that pretty easy in PvE. And then Count Dooku to gear 12. He's not one of the best Sith right now, so that's kind of a waste of resources for a lot of people for this. But if this is a title you want, you're going to have to do it. And then 3 out of 4 is finishing off 200 enemies with Count Dooku. Now, you could take him into territory battles. You could allow him to be the finishing agent when you're doing territory battles, especially some of those lower end. So this one isn't going to be that difficult. And when 9C with 5 Sith, at this point now, 9C is actually very doable with the current arena meta. You just have to make sure you use all Sith. And then earn 50 stars in territory battles. That is not very difficult to do. That will happen over time as well. So the last for Sith Agent is get Savage. He had his time. It's gone now, sadly, to gear 12. So for anyone that didn't already get him to gear 12, this is kind of a kick in the nuts. Excuse my language, but it's true. You're going to have to go there. Also, earn 8,400 raid tickets. That's going to happen over time. And win 3 territory wars. Again, that's very doable. So for Sith Agent, I think it's the most doable. You're going to have to get Count Dooku and Savage up to gear 12. And if you don't already have that, that definitely is going to be something you're not looking forward to. But you could earn that title. So Fulcrum and Sith Agent are the 2 I believe are the easiest and most attainable for the in-game player who's currently playing. For anybody who's new or mid-game, you're not going to even want to attempt any of these at this point because they're just far out of reach. There is another level from Sith Agent to Sith Master, and you're going to have to defeat 1,000 light side with Vader present. That's easy. Get 5 Sith to gear 12. Most people are doing that. Have Scimitar 7 stars. Again, most people have done that. Then you'll go to Sith Master 2, which is 20 squad arena battles with Sith only. Very doable. Darth Maul to gear 12. Defeat 200 Jedi. Those are both doable. And then 3 out of 4 is win 10 territory war attacks with Sith present. Very doable. And win hard 9D with 5 Sith, very doable, and earn 100 territory battle stars, doable. And then Sith Master at the very end, you have to get 10 Sith to gear 12, doable. Defeat 500 rebel characters with Emperor Palpatine present, extremely doable, and win 5 territorial wars. So Sith Master is actually easier than Sith Agent, but Sith Agent you got to do first before you even unlock Sith Master, and you've got 4 tiers on each of them. And if you're using the current meta, I would definitely go for the Sith. So the 2 I would have open and I would be working towards is the Sith Agent, because that is doable if you're running with the current meta. And then if you have Fulcrum, run with Fulcrum. All the rest, I really wouldn't bother. Again, if you're one of those Krakens that have all of the bounty hunters totally maxed out, maybe take a run at the bounty hunter, but 7 levels for that is kind of crazy. I know there's going to be future titles coming out. I like the idea of titles. I just think the rewards here are not worth the carrot in front of the nose to get us to actually care enough about these particular titles to keep going. As always, what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below and keep your gaming on. Warrior out.